had the same sort of thing going on.
Yeah. Okay, this... Wrong map choice. Oh, this is the right map. I got it right. I totally got it right.
Okay, well, initial confusion aside, in the bottom left part of the map, we have our red Terran player. He is GhostGambit. Just checking to see if he's not in any of the clans. Okay.
Indeed. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Terran player, Zrqkyvx. Or ZRQ for those of us that don't feel like saying that over and over again.
Zrqkyvx. Zrq. Yeah, ZRQ is better.
Zrqkyvx.
It's Zoidberg.
It's Zoidberg.
There's those 500 health rocks that people like to knock over occasionally. By occasionally, I mean that one map from last season where they were kind of necessary.
Yeah. I just love how the rocks are like, they're not even really in a good position to do anything. They're just kind of there.
I think knocking them over in the early game would basically just make the attack path slightly longer. But as you can see, what a lot of people are going to fixate upon is the rock formation on the outside of the main. I did see a couple TVT games where people would actually grab submarines, some siege tanks, break through that, and just assault really fast. And oddly enough, in most of those games, that didn't end the game. It just made it take longer because then the other person would do, like, hold it off and do the same thing. It was messy, but it was fun to watch. So I'm kind of half hoping for that. GhostGambit saying he's pulling out a new build, and ZRQ's expanding. ZRQ's being ZRQ.
Well, yeah.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I talked up the stream and it's choppy again. It's okay, I'll fix it for the next match. I promise.
Nah, well, nothing we can do there.
Yep.
No. Okay, well, we can think about potential solutions later. Anyway, I see you found my mistake, ZRQ. Probably referencing the slightly misplaced supply depot. As I've stated actually several times over the course of the night, if you look at the front of ZRQ's base, ignore this top supply depot for a moment. Imagine it was in the normal spot. This pathway right below this barracks may not really look like it, but it ends up turning into a single cell pathway. A Thor will not walk through that.
Really?
It's very funny to watch. At least I think so. I mean, it might have been another building that was causing that effect, and I just misinterpreted it. But, like, it was very weird. I was seeing, like, Thor's attempt to walk into that space, and then they would turn around and walk all the way around all the other buildings and get to the other side.
Oh, so you're talking, like, between the bottom supply depot and the, like, that section right there.
Yeah. Like, it turns into that turns into a single hex.
Like, right there.
Which means, if you like Thors and Archons, that's going to make you angry a lot.
Like, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm, like, zoomed in on it. This is a pretty standard Terran play right here.
No, yeah, ZRQ, he was talking about how he's only really played on ladder maybe a little bit. But what he loves to do is he plays against the AI a lot, and he's refined his mechanics to a pretty startling degree at this point. And if you give him enough time, he will build a giant army and run you over with it.
Yeah, I've got a buddy that does that all the time. Whenever we play in like 3v3 or whatnot, he's just that guy that we always stick in the back and we just let him macro.
Huh.
Because, like, at the 8-minute mark, he's got, like, 2 Thor somehow. And we're like,
yeah. He doesn't want, this guy, he just embodies standard macro. That's what he wants to do. That's what he does. GhostGambit seems like he's doing something pretty similar, but delayed things a little bit in order to get this starport out. He's got a factory up, and he's grabbing a tech lab on it. As well, so this is a Banshee play. Wonderful.
Meantime, ZRQ looks like he's going for tanks. And a third command center.
Yeah. He's going to have, if he's lucky, he'll have a scan for this. But if without missile turrets up, this is going to get a little difficult to deal with initially. But
Make it a little hashtag dicey.
Hashtag dicey. You bet. Still, though, this is a very smart move. I think if you're just starting out and you're looking for builds that will be really successful early on, like in the lower brackets of the ladder, cloak builds are just really good. It's a lot of people will know in their heads the right response to them, but they won't execute it properly, and it'll end up decimating half their stuff, even if they have a scan. So it's suffice to say that this is not something unexpected, but we'll see how well Zrqkyvx is able to respond to it. Despite me hyping up that he does have an extra worker on that gas, and I'm like, ugh, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a scan available. If he's very careful and he doesn't burn him.
That's right. It's going to be done. Yep, looks like he's going to get it. I guess he just has those built into his build. Not bad. Whoop. That Banshee had gone in earlier, though.
Plus that and the fact that he's not seen any sort of aggression at all from his opponent. So this is pretty typical of most Terran players, is if you don't see a whole lot of aggression with Marines or Marauders like right off the bat within the first 5 minutes, your chances are you're not going to see anything except for maybe a Banshee.
It's true. Timing does feel a bit delayed, though. We'll see how well he's able to make this work. He can one-shot workers with these two things, and there are a couple angles he can still utilize to hit. Unfortunately, one of the things you also sometimes see with lower league players is that they sometimes don't move their stuff out of the way of cannon and turrets fast enough. But Ghost is not one of those people. He is totally ready for that. Didn't lose anything.
Except a little pride.
Yep. So the Banshees are going to go to the other side of the base and check on the defenses over there. At the very least, he can actually poke that siege tank out of the air, out of the army, and that might be about all he's going to be able to accomplish with this. Also, he sees the third. Gets a little scouting information out of that. Might want to move those, though.
Oh, God,
no! Hit the cloak! Oh! Unfortunately,
right,
reaction not there.
Zrqkyvx going to take this third and probably start... now that he's killed off both those Banshees, the odds for another Banshee to come out are pretty slim to none right now. So it looks like he'll be able to take that energy from his orbital commands and send it into mules instead of scans.
Yeah, and Ghost is... I think he picked up a Viking, and then that's about it. Otherwise, he's just been going into Marine Siege Tank. And this is actually a little bit of a scary position for him. I'm kind of surprised Zrqkyvx is actually moving out right now while he's got a base there. But I guess he's not going to ramp up production on it too much. Wants to get some... I don't really know how much headway he can make into this army, moving up a ramp like that. At the very best, he might just be able to contain him in there.
Yeah, and I think at this point all he wants to do is just make sure that Ghost doesn't really do anything too crazy. It looks like he's actually knocking those rocks over, so he knows for a fact that nothing can be done.
He wants to throw that down and then go for the rocks at the back. Make it a little harder for him to hit him from the rear.
Yeah, in the meantime, Ghost is pushing up the south side here. It looks like he's going to hit this watchtower.
This is going to turn into an awkward base race, or he's going to run back home with half of his production building instead.
You know, I'm surprised that he ran all the way out here, but he doesn't have anybody sitting on the watchtower.
Nothing on the watchtower, nothing to watch that the rocks are going down either, so he has no idea this is happening until right now.
And here it comes. And is he going to commit, or is he going to run away?
Uh-oh, he's hesitating. He can't do this right now. He's got
to make a decision. He's got to move now.
Oh. He's sending some of his units up to poke at the army. That's not going to really do anything. And time window is closing here. The army advantage goes very, very squarely in Zrqkyvx's favor. In a situation like this, if he does go for a base race, he needs to get some stuff in the air, hide it in the corner. He does have that one Viking that works very well in his favor, but he really, really needs to not engage Zrqkyvx's army. Although this one siege tank is starting to even things out a little bit. Two siege tanks.
Now the Marines are starting to kind of run into him, so Zrqkyvx's got to be really, really careful here. He's got to get control of those Marines, keep them from running down into the siege tanks are just getting wrecked.
What did that change the army supply to? 32 to 57. Okay. How's that going on the other side of the map?
Looks to be about the same. I mean, Ghost's army is going to be able to go through here and pretty much clean all this up. So
Yeah.
we have an actual base trade situation going on here, folks. Zrq definitely he's ahead in the trading, but
He's got to lift something off. This command center is not going to survive this, no matter what he does. At this point, yeah, it's too low in health to even fly away anymore. Oh, this is not so good. One thing Zrq still has is most of his production buildings are functioning. So every unit that's coming out here doing a little bit of damage, keeping the army of ghosts kind of held in this location, eventually is going to mean that Zrq can walk back across the map and still salvage most of his economy. And that's probably going to be fatal.
Yep. Ghost actually really smartly putting a command center down at the 3rd, and Zrq actually building 2 barracks and a command center down at what will be a possible 4th for Ghost.
Yeah, this is his new main base. That's what this is.
This is going to be,
yeah,
a
Ghost,
very interesting matchup.
Ghost has some bank, so he can keep himself from being revealed for a while, but that supply is a new problem.
Yep.
Also, Zrq is
Zrq
like...
just scanned both of them.
Oh, no.
He's sending a small pack of Marines to finish off the 2 supply depots, and he's taking the main army to go clean up the rest of these the rest of these command centers. That was a very well-timed scan from Zrq.
Does he have any more SCVs out here? Yeah, he does have 3, so he can start building another command center somewhere else. Still nothing going home to deal with this army, though. He's actually chipped away enough at Zrq that he now doesn't have any production buildings. He's made a few barracks back here. Maybe all he needs in the long run. No Marauder slow for Zrq.
Yep. So that's going to be it for the old main base of Ghost.
He's got to build another building. He's got no other buildings. Rex, he's gonna die.
Siege tanks, siege them up, Zrq.
Oh,
there we go.